How do you do, guys? I'm Now15. Today I'm joined with...
Star Gamer.
And...
Jacoby Jones, 1021.
Today we're playing some more Minecast. Or, rather, welcome to the Minecast. Whichever you prefer. So, the title of today's Minecast. Minecast Episode 10. That's right. There's been 10 of these now.
Deranged.
Are we deranged?
I just saw it pop up.
It's a question I have to ask myself a lot. Do I spend too much time outside that I'm out of touch with the real world? Have I lost my sanity? Have I committed acts of cannibalism or terrorism? All these questions will be answered on today's Minecast episode.
Committed identity theft.
Can we not joke about that?
I'm sorry.
Like, it's genuinely not funny. Like, it's a very serious thing that still is yet to be sorted. That's the thing, like, if I were to ever get any government job, or any sort of, like, software job that requires, like, government credentials, this single, like, thing, this identity theft flag, could prevent me from getting that job in the future. Like, this is something that is going to be forever with me. Like, it's not just gonna be, oh yeah, you do this thing, the IRS confirms that, close whatever bank account or whatever was open with the stolen identity. That's something that's always gonna be there. And that's scary. So, for those of you who don't know, I recently had my identity flagged by the IRS as having been stolen. Effectively meaning they believe someone has done something as me. What I currently believe it is someone has opened a bank account in my name illegally, without me myself permission, and yeah, we will not know for some time what actually happened, but that is my current hypothesis, that someone somehow opened a bank account in my name. So, yeah, it's scary. There's a lot of, you always see the commercials like, oh yeah, identity theft is such a scary thing in the modern day, and it really is. I mean, you'd never think it would happen to you, but you'd be surprised. There's plenty of amazing apps and services that do basically what the government, the IRS, whatever government office does for a lot of people. I'm having trouble putting like thoughts into words right now. Basically what I'm saying, guys, is always be safe with your passwords. Be careful of who you give your passwords to. Even if it's like, say, like me, you're a YouTuber, and you give someone access to an account of yours to upload or to edit a video or to make a thumbnail for a video, anything like that. Be careful who you give your passwords to, and know you can actually trust them. And I've actually found, you'd be surprised how many websites really do have more information about you than what you've given them. A lot of websites actually track your location and other personal information. So, be careful what you do online, and be careful who you interact with online. Internet safety. That's the beginning of today's Minecast episode. For the record, Scobie's a little sauced.
What?
Huh?
What? What'd you say?
I don't know what? Huh?
What'd you say?
Said you're a little sauced.
Don't make me put the white shirt on.
Okay, continuing on. So, Star. You told me today that you recently installed Marvel Contest of Champions.
Yes.
Alright. So, I don't know if we've talked about this on the channel, especially, I don't know about the Minecast, but who would you say, Star, is your favorite Marvel character?
Well, for villains, it'd probably be Loki. But probably the Hulk.
Okay. Scotty, what about you?
But I keep switching my favorite characters.
Are we doing both hero and villain?
You might as well, since Star said one of each.
Alright, let's say villain, Carnage.
Ooh.
Hero, Spider-Man. Miles Morales, Spider-Man.
Okay. I think Miles Morales Spider-Man is pretty cool. Yeah, because he has, like, the Venom Blast or whatever.
Well, he has the Venom boost, and he has invisibility, cloaking,
Yeah.
plus other abilities.
I think, to be honest, like, my top two Spider-Man versions would probably be Miles Morales, and then, like, the new MCU Spider-Man. Like, Tom Holland Spider-Man. Because the Stark Spider-Man suit, the one with, like, the claws on the back and whatnot, dude, that suit's just... It's cool. Was it the Iron Spider suit or whatever?
Yeah.
From the original shows? Yeah. Like, Spider-Man having... Because if you don't know, in the comics, Peter Parker is actually, like, a literal genius. They kind of don't really show it in a lot of the actual Spider-Man movies, and especially not the new MCU Spider-Man movies. But, Peter Parker is a legitimate genius. Like, his intellect is up there with the likes of Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, Mr. Fantastic. I guess I should say Reed Richards, since that's his actual name. But Peter Parker is very intelligent. And in the comics, he actually founded his own company, Parker Industries, I think. And he actually created, like, gadgets, and stuff like that. So, you know, a lot of people say with the MCU Spider-Man that, you know, oh, Spider-Man's not actually that good because you want to have all this stuff without, you know, Iron Man. If you've ever read any of the comics, you'll find Spider-Man's still pretty powerful. For hero, I'd have to say probably Wolverine. Just because he has, like, he's been around a long time. Like, he's not a really old Marvel character, but he is a fairly old Marvel character. He's one of the original X-Men, which I've always liked the X-Men a little more than the Avengers. And, you know, Wolverine's fought in every single war that's happened since the American Civil War, or American Revolutionary War. And then for villain, I know this one's not really gonna count, but I count it, so I'm gonna say it. And if you don't like it, I don't really care. The Punisher. I know he's technically an anti-hero, yada yada yada, but in the Daredevil series, he is a villain. He is one of Daredevil's rogue. He's a member of Daredevil's rogue gallery. You know, going off of that, he's a villain. So he is a very cool character, and he does have a lot of noble reasons for why he does what he does. But I can't deny the fact that Punisher in the real world would be a villain. Like, canonically, like, Punisher's killed more people than Wolverine or a few other people. I think one of the few Marvel characters that has a higher kill count than Punisher is Deadpool. Deadpool's got a stupidly high kill count in the comics because there's an entire series called Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe where he kills every hero and villain in the Marvel Universe. And then he also kills it's a mind trip of a comic series. It's basically he goes back in time and he kills the characters that inspired the characters. Like he kills Ishmael from Moby Dick, he kills Pinocchio. Kills all these old fantasy characters. Because one of his voices connected those characters to MCU characters. Like this character is the equivalent of this character. But it's a very fun story. I have to say this though. If I had to pick a legitimate villain, it would probably be Carnage as well. Just because Carnage is Cletus Cassidy's out there. I remember playing the Lego game with my cousin unlocking Carnage, and literally from the time we unlocked Carnage onwards, that's all we would use in the entire game. Because Carnage was just an absolute beast. In the game, he had the Iron Spider's back spikes as well, so he could impale people.
Well, I mean, if you literally watch Venom, There Will Be Carnage, that movie...
I still have yet to see it.
Venom literally is scared to fight Carnage. He says, "We're going to die. It's a red one. This is a bad idea."
Yeah. It's
Venom, one of the strongest anti-heroes in the, whole Marvel universe, is scared of him.
Well, the whole thing with Carnage is technically the child of Venom. It was Venom's offspring. And the reason Carnage is so powerful and unhinged is because Carnage, the symbiote Carnage, became bonded with Cletus Cassidy while Eddie Brock was in prison. In the comics. Well, Cletus was already a convicted, murderer with, 30 counts of murder or something like that. He was sentenced for death. He was on death row. Which, why a death row inmate and a person with a misdemeanor were in the same jail cell, we'll never know.
Well, in the movie, the reason Carnage is so strong is because he's the offspring of Venom. Cletus Cassidy is visited by Venom while he's in jail.
Yeah.
He bites Eddie Brock and consumes a little bit of his blood, and Carnage is created.
Yeah.
He then goes in for euthanization, and the euthanization is what gives Carnage his strength.
Okay, so it's the chemicals mixed with the symbiote. That's neat. That's a really cool way of having done it. No, see, because in the comics it was literally just Carnage's power level was kind of like Hulk's with anger, like, the crazier and more unhinged and, like, further Cletus was pushed, like, the stronger Carnage would get. Like, Carnage could, like, regenerate from very little. Like, he had a very strong healing factor. Not quite like Wolverine or Deadpool status, but a very strong healing factor.
I mean, Deadpool's been shot in the brain, had his head cut off, and everything else in the comic books.
Well, the number one example of, like, OP healing factors in the comic books, the one I always go back to. Wolverine was literally, like, incinerated by, like, I can't remember if it was the Phoenix Force, some sort of, like, fire hero or villain. Like, he was hit with the heat of a supernova, like a sun exploding, and was able to regenerate from a single drop of blood. Because it shows, like, all of his flesh being burned off down to his adamantium skeleton.
Yeah.
But because he had been hit prior and a single drop of blood, like, flew off, he was able to regenerate back from that single drop of blood. Like, that's how overpowered Wolverine's healing factor is. He has literally survived an atomic blast. He survived Hiroshima, in the movie. What?
Hiroshima.
He survived Hiroshima! That's an actual fact in the movie.
Yeah, I know.
Can't remember which movie that is. It's one of the. It's like, I don't remember. But yeah, like, Wolverine's OP. But, like, Hulk has this thing where, like, the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. And then, like, the Red Hulk has his is even worse. Cause, like, if he gets angry enough, he'll have literal, like, fire coming off of him. Like, he radiates heat when he gets mad. All of the Hulks are pretty powerful. But, yeah, no, Cletus Cassidy just basically because when Deadpool and Carnage fight, Deadpool literally, like, kills Cletus's, like, girlfriend.
Yeah.
To fuel Carnage. Like, to make Carnage, like, stronger. Because the thing is, the stronger Carnage gets, the less of Cletus is actually in there. So you have Carnage, like, not thinking rationally, just wanting to go all out, which gives Deadpool a very big advantage. Yeah, see, I still haven't seen the second Venom movie. I know I had Woody Harrelson as Cletus, so it's like, I'm not in a hurry to see him as a villain.
Honestly, he plays the part really good.
I know he does, it's just, it's hard for me to picture him playing a villain. But then again, there's a lot of actors that I have trouble finding them. Like, if Keanu Reeves played a villain in a movie, I don't think I'd be able to watch the movie. Because, like, Keanu Reeves just he just radiates chaotic good energy. Alright, how far are we into the stream? I want to make sure we're past, like, 20...
Like an 18 minutes.
18 minutes? Okay. We should be good enough for me to, hit us with the one that I talked to you about the other day. So what I'm gonna do, me and Jacoby are gonna do some rapid fire. It's basically gonna be a this or that type, like, questions. I'm just gonna say one thing or another thing. Jacoby's gonna say which he prefers. So, you ready?
Yep.
Alright. Blackhawk is in the helicopter. Or, the Superstar.
Blackhawk.
Okay. Blackhawk or Cobra?
Cobra.
Cobra or Apache?
Apache.
Alright. Apache Oh. Sounds like you were thinking there.
I said, mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. I thought you went, like you were rethinking your decision. Alright. Apache or Chinook? Hard.
No.
Chinook? Alright.
I have to.
Alright. Chinook or Osprey?
Chinook.
Alright. Chinook or F4 Phantom 2?
Phantom.
Phantom's an OG. Phantom or AC-130?
AC-1.
AC-130 or A-10 Warthog?
Ooh, Warthog all the way.
Warthog or F-14 Tomcat?
Warthog.
Wow, okay. Warthog or F-15E Strike Eagle?
F-15.
F-15 or F-22 Raptor?
F-22 Raptor.
F-22 Raptor or EA-18 Growler?
Raptor.
Okay. I was gonna say, you're probably not very familiar with the Growler.
I am.
Okay. Well, tell me what the Growler does then.
Huh?
Tell me what the Growler does then.
I don't know what it does. I know what it looks like.
Okay. The Growler's basically just an F-18... Was it Super Hornet? Yeah, Super Hornet. That has been modified for electronic warfare capabilities. So it's able to detect ground radar, jam ground radar, and it actually has missiles on board to lock on to ground radar. So it's a pretty unique fighter jet. Alright. F-22 Raptor or SR-71 Blackbird?
Ooh.
I'm pulling on your heartstrings with that one.
Yeah. You already know.
Blackbird?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who's ever watched any X-Men anything has just this deep-seated love for the Blackbird. Like, the Blackbird was such a good stealth aircraft that it was chosen for the X-Men's own, like, transport. Like, it's... The Blackbird's nutty. Alright. SR-71 Blackbird or F-35 Lightning Gun?
Blackbird.
Understandable.
We may have hit a stopping point with that.
Alright.
Being fully honest.
SR-71 Blackbird or the AH-6 Killer Egg?
AH-6.
Yeah. Dude, the AH-6 being like... So the MH-6, which is the non-attack variant, is like the little helicopter that Special Forces use, like Delta Force. It was in Black Hawk Down. So at some point, someone decided, hey, this is a really cool little, you know, 6-seater transport. Why don't we put guns on it? So now you have this tiny little helicopter with like Hellfire missiles and like chain guns. And it's just the dopiest little... It generally reminds me of like if you gave a German engineer like meth. That's just what was created. The Killer Egg is something else. Alright. AH-6 Killer Egg or RAH. Oh god, I can't remember. No! I can't remember the number designation, but the Comanche.
Comanche.
Yeah. I really wish the Comanche program had actually gotten further. It's like, the Comanche began as being like a next generation replacement for the Apache. Then down the road, it was, oh, we're not going to replace the Apache. This is going to be a stealth surveillance helicopter capable of spotting targets for the Apache. And then somebody realized, hey, we can just have Predator drones spot targets for the Apache. So the Comanche was canceled. But we get to see it in video games, so that's all that matters. Alright. Yeah, I may generally be out of, like... Ooh, I got one. Comanche or Harrier jump jet?
Comanche.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd probably pick the Harrier.
I don't know. Comanche tapped on my heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely, like, Comanche's cool. I feel like if the Comanche had, like, actually entered service, we wouldn't, like, have that love for it as much. But, I don't know. Comanche's just a neat little bird. Then again, so is, like, the Chinook. The Osprey is, like... If we were ranking these helicopters and planes based on just sheer uniqueness, the Osprey would be at the top. I can't think of a more versatile platform than the Osprey. Because you have the vertical takeoff of a helicopter with the cruising like speed and range of a propeller-driven airplane. With, like, you can put guns on it. It can be an actual weapon system as well. So it's very versatile. Alright, Jacoby. Comanche. Or P-51 Mustang.
Mustang.
See, I knew that was going to win them. P-51 Mustang. Or the Corsair.
Mustang.
Yeah?
Yeah.
P-51 Mustang. Or the Hellcat.
Hellcat.
Yeah. Hellcat was a neat little plane. Did you know that the Corsair and the Hellcat actually have the same engine?
Yes, I did.
I did not know that. Until, like, the episode of the documentary I've been watching today. I also completely forgot that the new, like, the modern variant of the AC-130 has literal, like, air-to-ground rockets, like missiles it can drop.
Yeah.
Like, they're mounted in, like, the tail portion of the plane. So it's like, it just flies above you and just drops, like, 10, I think they're called, like, the Griffin missiles or something like that. Just absolutely nutty. Alright. Hellcat. Or the Huey.
Ooh. Huey.
Huey. Yeah. See, I feel like, legitimately in perspective, like, I've gone in a very, like, weird direction with this whole list. Because I feel like not a lot of other things would, like, beat the Huey. Like, if I said Huey versus Huey or Chinook.
Huey.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I generally, I'll admit I do have a very fondness of the Huey. But at the same time, I do understand, like, the Huey was really only good because it was what we had at the time.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of other prototypes, like, the whole Black Hawk program was created out of the need to replace the Huey to make a better transport helicopter. And Bell had a helicopter in the program, I think it's like the Bell 120 or something like that. And they did so poorly in the competition, they got knocked out like a month into it. And then you had the other two prototypes, which the Black Hawk won, mainly because one of the Black Hawk prototypes going on a test flight with actual soldiers inside of it crash landed. And it was so safe that it had no fatalities, hardly any injuries. to both the crew and the actual US soldiers who were inside of it. And it had been damaged so little that within a week, they had repaired... Huh?
I said within a week it was airborne.
Yeah, they had fixed the problem that resulted in its crash, repaired it, and flew it back to the base it took off from in the beginning. Like, the Black Hawk was that good. And then, you know, we have things like Black Hawk Down, where it's like, if it was so good, why did this happen? Well, RPGs. If you ever watch I don't know if you watch them, Jacoby, there's a channel on YouTube called Ballistic High Speed. Two very cool dudes. They very recently had an RPG actually explode while they were test firing it. And one of them was pretty seriously injured. He survived, and he's healing, but that video just really goes to show you just how powerful an RPG is. They are not something to be trifled with. And it's like, you look at an RPG, or you look at like an Afghan soldier with an RPG, and it's like, oh, that's cute. You know, little redneck with this tube missile, and it's like, no, it's actually a very scary weapon system. It may simply be a tube that fires, you know, a rod with explosives on the end, but you don't want to be on the receiving end of it. I think it's Black Hawk Down where, like, they have one come through, like, the seat, and it, like, lodges inside of one of the crew members. Like, it's in his, like, belly. Like, just sticking out. Didn't detonate, it just went into him. Yeah. RPGs are... they're something else.
I want it to be known Rogue's video just up.
Hooray! Finally! Sorry, you're pretty quiet.
I've just been listening to you, and of course, London hasn't been quiet.
You need to just, like, boop her on the nose.
Boop.
Give her a good old nose boop. See if it hard resets her. Fun fact, guys, dogs have a reset button. You just gotta boop on the nose hard enough.
That's abuse.
No, it's not.
I'm calling PETA.
I'm calling PBS.
Yeah, you're gonna be on PBS history.
Alright. Next discussion. Jacoby, what is the weirdest thing you have eaten and or drinken? Weirdest / worst.
The weirdest, like, actual food item?
No, it doesn't have to be like an actual food item. Just thing you've consumed. Whether on purpose or accidentally. And like I said, weirdest / worst. So it can either be like something like a really weird combination or something like really gross. So it's like I have two that I can say.
Ate a maggot one.
Ugh. Yeah.
Boy.
How'd you manage to do that?
What?
What?
I said Boy Scouts.
Oh. Why'd you do that?
Someone who I cannot name dared me to and gave me $50.
Ah! May have an idea of who.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you can probably guess who.
B?
Hmm?
Their names start with a B?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that narrows it down to 2, and I have a feeling I know which one. Stoner?
I don't think I've ever actually had anything weird.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly who. See, he actually, one time when I fought my cousin, who I will not name, he actually gave me money afterwards, because I did a pretty good number on him. Because he was just getting tired of my cousin's crap.
He says, good job.
Yeah, literally. So, the weirdest thing I've ever, worst thing I've ever ate, because I eat a lot of weird food combinations, so I'm gonna go with worst. Number one worst, it was, very early, in streaming on Rogue's, account. I actually don't know if we were live at the time. I had went to take a sip of my tea, and as it turned out, there were flies. Multiple flies who had died in my tea.
I'm eating at the moment.
And we had only been sitting there for, like I said, an hour or two. A solid stream. And I just reached over, didn't look at my cup, just put it to my mouth, took a sip. And I could, feel it in my mouth. I spit it out, dumped it out, and sure enough, there was, two of them, 2 or 3. I didn't swallow it, luckily, but, yeah. It was bad.
I swallowed a bee one time in my grandmother's convertible.
Oh?
Yeah.
And then I think the lesser one of those, my mother smoked. And she, rather than having an ashtray in the car, would just, ash in, McDonald's or, whatever fast food restaurant we had been to recently, cups. So one time I was in the car and I needed a drink. And she wasn't in the vehicle, she'd gone into a store or something. So I went to take a sip of this drink and just got cigarette ash water. And it was horrible. Because, when you're drinking out of a straw, it's very hard to just spit it back out. You've already swallowed something because of, the suction. So it was awful.
I'm eating french fries right now.
Congrats. You want a cookie?
Yeah, I got one.
No.
Don't offer it. I'm a fat guy. Don't offer me cookies if you don't have it.
Huh? What we got? We got cosmic brownies.
Okay, bring one over here.
Not gonna happen.
Thanks for that.
Dang it! I blame Jacoby.
What?
I'm angry right now.
Everything's my fault.
I could have had mint chalky chip ice cream tonight because Jacoby wanted to call I did dishes. I forgot about it.
Oh, it's...
I ate mini wheats instead.
I had a Shamrock Shake today.
Dude, Shamrock Shakes are so overrated.
They're good.
It's literally just mint chocolate chip ice cream in shake form, bro. What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. They're super over. The fact that they're not just permanently on a menu is stupid.
I agree with that.
It's like the McRib. It's everybody gets super excited over it when it's on the menu. It's dude. It's just I very strongly dislike not limited time novelty items. Cause it's why?
Well, the McRib to me is go to your local Walmart or Kroger, whatever grocery store you have around you. Go to the frozen section and buy barbecue rib meal.
Yeah.
Pop that boy in the microwave for 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, the TV dinners.
Pull that out, pop it on a bun. There you go, McRib.
Yeah. See, the McRibs always remind me of, the barbecue rib we'd get at school.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Because it's literally the same thing. It's just a slab of processed, gnarly meat, lathered in barbecue sauce, and slapped on a hot dog bun.
We call it ribs.
And called a McRib. I'm not, I just don't like novelty items. Like, if you're gonna put something, as a restaurant, if you're gonna put something on a menu, why have, like, a limited, like, I understand if it's like a, oh, we got a shipment of this and we didn't, like, really order it, or stuff like that. Or it's like, oh, we're just trying to get rid of it. But if it's something you have the supply chain to have, why not just have it on the menu? Because you're gonna sell it year-round. Like, the Shamrock Shake, you're gonna sell it. There are going to be people, there is the demand for the supply.
You want to know
why?
Because having it once a year, making it seasonal, so many more people are going to go to McDonald's. People that don't do fast food, that don't do McDonald's, they want that specific item because it's only available time of the year.
Yeah.
Going to do millions upon millions in sales on that one item when they might get $1 million to a couple 100,000 if they had it throughout the whole year.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. I definitely feel like the Shamrock Shake has the ability to have it be, like, don't call it the Shamrock Shake, but I definitely feel like that specific shake has the ability to have multiple, like, times of the years for it. Like, I would like for it to be a bi-yearly or even like 4 times a year, like once per season type thing, rather than, oh, it's here for like a month and it's just gone. Because, like, and it's like, my biggest complaint honestly with the Shamrock Shake is, why does that holiday of all holidays gets its own menu thing? Like, I understand, like, you know, the McCafe has a few things for Halloween and Christmas, this, that, and the other. But why does St. Patrick's Day very specifically just get its own special limited time menu item? Like, it makes no sense to me.
Because the owner, original founder of McDonald's was Irish?
No, he was not.
The original chain owner?
The original founder was 2 brothers.
No, I'm saying the original chain owner, like, bought it, made it a giant...
Yeah, Kroc. I can't remember his first name, but his last name was Ray Kroc.
No, that was the owner.
No, that was the founder. That was the one who went out and found the little restaurant out in California that made it a nationwide and then worldwide chain. Ray Kroc, I've watched the movie. He was played by Michael Keaton. Kroc was not Irish. He may have been of Irish and or Scottish descent. I think that may have been said somewhere in the movie. But he was not first or even...
You're also going off a movie.
Which was... Dude. It's a literal documentary.
I know, and I'm saying...
Funded
yes,
by McDonald's.
I know, and I'm saying, yes, it's going to be accurate in almost all aspects, but who's around today that really knew him, his actual ethnicity?
There are quite a few people. His wife actually far outlived him.
Well, yeah, but...
Let me actually look. When did... Because you gotta think, that was 60s or 70s? He didn't pass away until 1984. So anybody working within McDonald's within, you know, the late 70s, early 80s had the ability of having known him. What's crazy is, like, there's a lot, like, McDonald's took a completely different direction after his passing. So I think it was, like, right around his passing when, like, the whole Ronald McDonald thing was, like, brought in. I don't know, guys. I don't get seasonal menu items and I don't get limited run menu items. If you're gonna put something on the menu, why? I don't know. I'm the type of person where if I'm going out to eat, whatever restaurant it is, if I've ate there before, I'm getting the exact same thing on the menu every single time. Like, I do not. I guess with McDonald's I kind of do. Like, sometimes I do Filet-O-Fish, sometimes I do McChicken. Really, McDonald's is really the only one I really vary. Wendy's, it's always a Baconator meal. Burger King, now it's the Bacon King. But I don't think the Bacon King's, like, been a big thing on their menu for a long time. Because I used to just get a simple Whopper. Taco Bell, I couldn't even tell you. I haven't had Taco Bell in so long.
McDonald's Shamrock Shake used to be lemon lime sherbet.
What?
Mm-hmm. And it is now mint flavored. It's literally just vanilla soft serve with mint flavored syrup mixed in with sweet cream on the top.
Yeah. I wonder which came first, the McDonald's Shamrock or the Arby's Andy's Mint? Because Arby's has an Andy's Mint shake that's basically the same thing. Also, stream, can we please just get some recognition for Penguin Point? Just rest in peace, guys. Like, Penguin Point was such a staple of Indiana, like, it's sad. It's sad that they're all closing down. Penguin Point didn't have the ability to keep up with constantly changing menus. Because, you know, the whole reason things like McDonald's and these like big burger joints have survived is, and they showed it in the Founder movie about Ray Kroc. They took a few set, 10 menu items that everybody wants, everybody needs. Stuck with that. Yeah, they added things, limited quantities, like Burger King, the chicken fries, stuff like that. But they really stuck with 10 key menu items. Because in the movie, you'll see, people that franchised, some were selling like, and remember, this is a movie about McDonald's. You had McDonald's franchisers, individual store owners, or restaurant owners, who were selling corn on the cob, fried chicken, tacos, tamales, stuff like that.
I have an answer for your question.
Okay.
So the Andy's Mint Shake that you're thinking of wasn't introduced until 2013 to Arby's. The Shamrock Shake was introduced and created in the McDonald's chain in 1967.
It's that old?
It debuted nationally in 1970.
Wow. Now, was that the mint version or was that the original lemon lime one?
So the original version was made and called the Shamrock Shake in 1967. The mint version was then created by McDonald's owner and operator Hal Rawson in celebration of St. Patrick's Day and was debuted nationally in 1970.
Okay. That's cool. I didn't realize it'd been around that long.
Mm-hmm. It originally was the Shamrock Shake. It's for spring. Wasn't even for St. Patrick's Day. It was just to celebrate spring because there were lots of clover fields in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And the original thing is, 'tis the first green of spring, new minty shamrock shakes and shamrock sundaes.
Oh, so they made sundaes too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the original shake was literally just, dude had a shake machine, dude had mint ice cream and vanilla, mixed it,
did it himself, and then showed it to someone higher up, and then it quickly gained traction. Which again, that's basically the whole success story of McDonald's. Because
and why it's so popular and so widely used is it was one of the first shakes to be nationally introduced through McDonald's.
Yeah.
So not every McDonald's chain did shakes until the Shamrock shake.
And that's not true. Because it shows it in the movie. Ray's second wife, because he divorced his original wife and then married one of his actual franchisor's wife. Like, stole the dude's wife, literally. Like, gave them the opportunity. Was like, hey, yeah, you can run your own McDonald's, and then stole his wife. They came up with this powder solution that could be added to water to allow you to make a very simple evaporated milk milkshake.
Yes.
Got rid of the need of the shake machines, got rid of the need of the refrigeration, because they were struggling with the refrigeration bills. So the original two flavors implemented nationwide for McDonald's were vanilla and chocolate. Later, a third flavor, strawberry, would be implemented. And then after strawberry had already been implemented is when Ray actually bought the name McDonald's from the original brothers and put them out of business. Because he bought the rights to McDonald's and basically every McDonald's store besides the original location for like $1 billion or $100 million, something like that. Whole lot of money back then, even more now. But the movie, it's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it already, guys, you should definitely watch it. It's Michael Keaton. You're gonna like it. But yeah.
Anyways, what I was trying to say is, yes, they had shakes nationally, but no, they did not have shake machines nationally.
Yes. Which, again, they'd gotten rid of the shake machines because...
Yes, I heard you.
Yeah. And
what I'm trying to say is they didn't have shake machines nationally. This implemented it nationally because it had enough growth on it, had enough demand, that they could put shake machines into every national chain.
Which, and again, the really crazy thing with that is Ray Kroc actually, how he ended up finding McDonald's, the original store, he was a shake machine salesman. He went to the McDonald's store for a delivery. They offered him a tour of the place. He liked it so much that he pitched franchising, got the rights to, franchised, and then basically stole the entire idea out from under them. So the very beginning of his whole arc to own McDonald's all started with a shake machine. Which just years later he would phase out, and then even more years later, by the time I think by then he'd stepped down as president, shake machines came back thanks to the Shamrock Shake. Just a really cool full circle arc. You'd love to see it. Alright, we've talked for McDonald's for I feel like way too long. We're gonna get probably slapped with a cease and desist letter after that one.
No, we're talking good on the name.
Yeah, we're giving them good publicity.
Free publicity, bro.
Yeah.
It's when you talk bad about a company that you have to really worry.
Yeah. Oh. Alright, Gabby. Favorite U.S. president? Go.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, it is. That's why I asked it.
I'm gonna go with one no one can judge me for. Abraham Lincoln.
People won't judge you for that one. He was a professional wrestler before he became president. Literally, at one of his speeches, he basically said something along the lines of, "If you want to fight me, bring it on."
Yeah, but he also implemented the freedom of slaves, so come at me, bro.
Abraham Lincoln after making every decision. You don't like it? Come at me, bro.
Put the gun down and come at me, bro.
I'm as tall as your house. You could probably lift it. Come at me, bro. That's the crazy thing. Like, a lot of people don't realize about Abraham Lincoln. Before his presidency, he was very, very fit. His presidency, especially the war itself and constant worry, caused a lot of fatigue on him. Like, you see this a lot with Barack Obama. Look at a picture of Barack Obama prior to, like, the day he was inaugurated as president, and then look at a picture of Barack Obama after his 8 years as president. That man aged 30 years in 8 years. Because you gotta think, Barack Obama inherited the housing crisis. He inherited the war in the Middle East. He basically just got handed all of these problems and said, huh, they're your problems now, buddy.
He signed up for it.
Yeah. It's just...
He wanted to be president. He knew what was happening in the world.
Like, you want to see a perfect example of just how taxing the job of president is. Barack Obama. He's a perfect example. Because not a lot of other presidents have entered office, like, younger, A, or B, like, not younger, but looking younger, like, visually younger. Barack Obama was really one of the very few presidents who, when they entered office, they were young. Like, he entered office, like, not a white hair on his head. By the time he left office, that man, like, I don't know. It's why, like, there's been some talks about Michelle Obama recently about running for office. And she's literally said, like, I saw what happened to my husband. I don't want that. I wonder if, like, former U.S. presidents still have, like, nightmares. Like, you think Jimmy Carter just, like, wakes up with, like PTSD, like, night terrors of, like, the Oval Office's, like, phone ringing?
No, but now I'll forever have that image in my brain.
Because, you know, like, so, I have a feeling, like, the White House and, like, the Secret Service, I feel like since the Cold War, and no one is gonna be able to confirm this, but I have a feeling the Secret Service has, like, mandatory, like, evacuation drills, like, escorting the president to the bunker. So, like, could you imagine being a U.S. president, like, waking up in the middle of the night, like, with, like, hearing, like, the sirens going off of, like, a nuclear strike on D.C.? Like, dude, that'd be terrifying. I'm sure Bush still wakes up with the voice of, "Sir, the second tower's been hit." Just in his ear. To this day. He's dead asleep in his bed, just enjoying his night, and just, "Sir, the second tower's been struck." It's like Joe Biden when you whisper ice cream in his ear. Where?
I was gonna go with children, but...
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I'm sure he owns it, but...
I just want you to shush.
Hey, you brought up presidency.
Alright, Star. Favorite U.S. president? Do.
That's you're right, Ish.
I don't know if she's muted because of the dog or if she's asleep.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. It's always hard to tell, Star. why I try to engage her in the conversations as much as humanly possible, because I know if I go too long without engaging her in a conversation, this happens. I wonder what napalm would do to a turtle. The silence is scary.
What?
Nothing. You're terrifying. Alright, I don't even know what to talk about now. Alright, Scubby, I got one for you. Since you're the only one here now. If any country in the world had to be snapped out of existence, including everyone currently living there, which country are you picking?
America.
You'd have America and everyone in it, including ourselves, snapped out of existence.
America, bro.
Why? What?
Okay, let's put it this way. Everyone snapped out of existence. That means I'm the only person in the world.
Huh?
Rephrase, say the question.
If one country, including everyone in it,
Not what I thought you.
had to be snapped out of existence, which one are you picking?
That's not what I heard.
Meaning, not only are the people in the country wiped off the face of the earth, but so is the body of land itself as well.
Okay, that's not the question I heard. I heard if everyone in the country was snapped out of existence, where would you live?
Oh. Yeah, no, that was not the question. That makes sense on why you answered America.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're in America currently. You're...
Any country?
Any country. You say they're all going to be controversial, to be honest. I didn't realize that.
I was probably right picking America.
Yeah.
The only non-controversial answer, because I'm technically an American citizen.
Yeah. I would honestly say... I would say India. And the logic behind my choice of India is India and Pakistan are already constantly grinding against each other due to tectonic shift. Where, like, I can't remember how, like 600 years or something like that, India's just not gonna exist. Like, they lose X amount of feet every single year. You know, they have a lot of issues. They have citizens who literally defecate in the street. Like, I really don't think the world would suffer that much if India just got big oofed. Because, like, the majority of Indians that I care about are already here in the United States, so...
Yeah.
There's enough of them here, it's not like their culture's gonna die or anything. Yeah, I just say India, because it's like, they're already slowly being grinded into eternity. I know, any answers are really going to be controversial, but that's just my honest pick. Huh?
What?
The star just deceased.
She's back? What?
Yeah, so she was deceased.
Star?
She's just completely silent. Doesn't exist.
We don't speak of that.
No, she spoke when you said her name prior. When you asked if she was deceased, I heard her say what, and I was like,
I didn't.
I was trying to make sure I wasn't going crazy. Did you fall asleep, Star?
What?
Did you fall asleep?
Oh, we don't speak of that.
She fell asleep.
Definite yes.
She either fell
That's my
asleep or she
fault
forgot to
because
unmute
I was
it.
on my side.
Ah. Yeah, Star is a funny thing that, like, if she literally lays down, she just falls asleep. She doesn't even have to lay down either. Like, we were watching a movie, we were both sitting up. She laid her, like, head on my shoulder and just... out. Asleep, never to be seen again.
That seems like...
Anyway, so the questions you missed that were directed at you, Star. Favorite U.S. president?
Do I have to have one?
No, you can pick multiple if you really want to.
George Washington and Abraham Lincoln.
Okay. Who did I say? Did I pick one?
I don't know, it said something about Barack Obama.
Yeah, I went on the whole tangent about Barack Obama aging and whatnot. And then I went on the whole tangent about, like, presidents having nightmares. Oh god. I would say my favorite U.S. president of all time would probably be Jimmy Carter. Because... Huh?
I said you would.
Well, it's... Jimmy Carter had... I guess what I'd say is Jimmy Carter was the Donald Trump of his time. He had such big, beneficial ideas for America that were just blocked in Congress to the point that looking at Jimmy Carter's presidency, you're like, not a lot happened. Why is that? You know, he's listed as like one of the worst presidents because he just didn't do a whole lot. He had a lot of bad things happen internationally on his watch, and it's because he was just stonewalled. He couldn't do anything through Congress. Anything he put through Congress was just being shot down, denied, vetoed. He just had a very bad experience. He's done so much more since his presidency for people, was it Homes for Humanity? All these... Huh?
Habitat for Humanity?
Yeah, Habitat for Humanity. All these different foundations that he kind of pioneered creating and did. I mean, he was still building houses into his 80s and 90s. Like, for people. Hell of a human being. And I just gotta say, while he didn't have the greatest presidency, going off of just people, one of my favorites. Lincoln and Washington are up there. Washington, first president, founding father, all this stuff. But if you look at his military career, he did have a few questionable things that happened. Did the enemy surrender or did you just kill them? Well, who knows? He had a very questionable military career prior to, becoming president. There's a lot unknown about Washington in that sense. And Lincoln, I really couldn't say a lot of bad things for Lincoln. I think Lincoln's biggest flaw was he didn't put his eggs in the abolitionist basket soon enough. He dragged his feet and took a lot of time to actually make the Civil War about freeing slaves. At the very beginning, he was like, this is just about uniting the South and the North. This is the South's fault. They succeeded. Slaves have nothing to do with it. If y'all surrender right now, well, you keep your slaves. I don't give a crap. But as the war progressed and, free blacks up north, started to really say stuff like, oh, we want to fight too. And his hands were tied. He had to make it about slavery. So I think the biggest flaw with Lincoln was not just pulling trig and saying, you know what? This is about slavery. I don't care. Because that was the thing. had Lincoln said it was about slavery prior, the South wouldn't have had any of the support that it ended up getting from Britain, from France. You'll see in history, and you're taught this in history class, the day Lincoln said, the Emancipation Proclamation, both Britain and France, and I think maybe even Spain, withdrew all support from the Confederacy. Like, they actually supported the U.S. blockade of the Confederacy. Because they had already freed their slaves. They're like, well, okay. We can't do nothing about it. So I think Lincoln's biggest flaw was just he waited too long. If he had executed, basically saying the whole war was about freeing the slaves prior, the Confederacy wouldn't have had as much behind it. And to be honest, the Confederacy probably wouldn't have had as large of an army. Because a lot of the Confederate recruits were told, hey, you're defending your homes. This isn't, they weren't told the North's trying to take your slaves, because a lot of Southern folks didn't actually own slaves. The average, Southern person didn't own slaves. It was plantation owners, people way up in the government. So if Lincoln had said this about freeing the slaves, not taking your property, the Confederacy wouldn't have really had as much support in its own territory. So that's my biggest complaint with Lincoln, honestly. Now, there's a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. The majority of the generals flocked to the South, so Lincoln was left with very crappy military chain of command. He had a lot of stuff to deal with, but honestly, if he had made it about the slaves and not about state rights earlier, I think the Civil War would have been over a lot quicker. Because a lot of Southerners wouldn't have fought nearly as hard to keep the slaves as they were fighting to keep their land. So, that's my thoughts. I'll run to the bathroom real quick, so I'm going to let Star and Jacoby talk amongst themselves.
I kind of forgot I haven't had parrots on the world. Oh, jeez. Are you watching the stream?
No, I'm not.
His stick drift is acting up. He's just going forward.
He's gonna walk into a mob.
Well, surprisingly, he's not leaving the treehouse and staying in.
Alright, I'm back.
Quick, you're gonna burn yourself on the oven.
I was out here duck walking.
Yeah, you were.
At least you didn't get out of the treehouse.
And waddle away, waddle.
If any of you watching this know what duck walking is and where that came from, leave a comment. See if you actually get it right. Because I know where it came from. I'll give you all 5 whole seconds.
Hound, when you get a chance, look at what I sent.
Oh god.
Sent you a couple things.
You sent me reels.
Yeah, with the money.
I was gonna say, I can't do that right now. I thought you sent me like an image to react to. Okay, so...
Watch the first one without sound when you get a chance. It's worth it.
For...
What?
I broke the melon seeds.
Oof.
Oof.
So, for the duck walk, I actually can't remember the name of the person. It's the artist who sang Johnny Be Good in Maybelline.
I forgot who that is, but I've only ever heard Johnny Be Good.
Yeah. I don't remember the name.
You know what? We're going. I'm gonna find out who that is.
Going to go to Google, eh?
No?
Oh. on music?
Maybe.
Shout
Chuck
out to
Berry.
Amazon Music. Jacoby, can I say something cringe but funny?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to the sidewalk for keeping me off the streets.
That deserves this chat in your in the feed.
I've heard that said so much. It's honestly so hilarious.
See what I put
And what?
in Twitch chat.
I don't have Twitch chat pulled up. Remember, it makes the call go goofy.
You'll never know.
I pull it up once I get back to my treehouse.
You'll never know unless Star tells you.
And then you want to.
I thought you were gonna fall out of the tree house again.
I fell out of something. You're over an hour in, so I'll just go ahead and answer the question. Yes. Yes, we very much are.
Also, it looks like Tom might be falling off the bed.
Shot.
Here shortly.
Shot. Ah! Tom's on my shoulder. Tom's dead.
That's not Tom.
No, that's not Tom.
That's like,
wait,
isn't that Tom the second?
Yeah, that's Tom. Jacoby.
Yeah, the like little one.
Tom's the new one. Jerry's the red one.
That'll never be Tom. Tom is dead. You killed him.
Just like your father.
You're the one who killed my dad? I thought.
Oh boy. I'm sorry, Ma. Oh boy. So sorry, did you figure out who the artist is?
I literally said his name.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, Cuckberry.
Chuck Berry, there we go. So Chuck Berry was the one who, I think it was Chuck Berry, basically created the duck walk, and it's basically like this like low, sort of like crouch, but like walk. It's like you walk and basically like lift your knees up to like your chest, while kind of hunched. It's a very unique walk.
I've never even heard of it.
It's something he did in his live performances.
Oh.
It's so crazy how like the majority of Michael Jackson's dance moves, besides like the moonwalk, were stuff that other people had done that he just kind of used. Like if you look, the majority of his dance moves originated with Elvis Presley. And he's put like minor tweaks on them to like make them his own. Always remember, kids, if it wasn't for Elvis Presley, there would have been no Michael Jackson. Actually, that's a lie. There still probably would have been Michael Jackson. He probably would have just stayed with the Jackson 5 for a lot longer. You ever hear that like conspiracy theory that Eminem's secretly dead?
No.
Yeah, there's a conspiracy theory that Eminem actually passed away from the overdose that he had years back, and he was like replaced with like an android or like a body double. And a lot of people reference this to like his hair color and his facial hair structure. Also, Jacoby, did you know that Dr. Dre was shot in the legs once?
What?
Dr. Dre was shot in the legs at one point in time.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until very recently. 'Cause he was on a podcast and he was talking about, like, why he doesn't listen to, The Chronic anymore. And he was like, you know, that was just, like, a very bad time in my life. He's like, I was shot, like, I was actually in the studio on crutches when the one, song with Snoop Dogg was recorded. It's like, wow, that's insane. That really just shows you, like, the drive, like, older rappers had. Like, could you imagine being, like, a rapper who'd been shot in a drive-by, and, like, a week later, you're in the studio doing songs? Just because you had to do it. It's not like you couldn't, you know. It's like you could just take days off. It's, man, people be built different. We as humans are very weird. Our bodies can handle a lot of trauma. Our brains, on the other hand, really can't, and that's why we're deranged. I mean, the perfect example is Crab Raccoon. You think a normal, sane human being created that image? No. That image was created as a means to expel years and years of trauma. Crab Raccoon. The official image of the Minecast.
Instead of Crab Raccoon, I heard you say Bob the Raccoon.
Bob the Raccoon.
My brain literally goes to,
I have a little toy raccoon sitting in my room, and its name is Bob.
I forgot about that.
My girlfriend named it.
My brain, when you said Bob the Raccoon, went to Bob Ross. Bob Ross as a raccoon. We're gonna paint these happy little trash cans. I just realized happy little trash cans could also refer to, like, Fortnite players. I'm gonna say that next time I kill someone in Fortnite.
Aw, that's cute.
How'd you like that, you happy little trash cans? They call him No Show Jones.
I'm gonna make you an intro song to play when I don't show up for streams.
Oh my god! Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Paper.
Because you keep singing that little, they go No Show Jones.
It's from an actual song.
I know. I'm gonna make you one that's not copyrighted.
Ah. Man, it's crazy. It's been... How many years has it been since Merle Haggard passed away? In the words of the wise Beetlejuice. About a couple.
Answer.
Anytime I bring up Beetlejuice, I feel like Jacoby dies inside a little bit.
Don't say his name 3 times, bro.
Not that Beetlejuice.
I know. That's the whole joke.
See, that's the thing, like, I've never watched the Beetlejuice movies. Like, I only know of the boxer.
You know what you make do?
Huh?
You know what you make.
Why? You take a swig? That's what you deserve. Get what you fucking deserve.
You want... We got took was more than a swig.
Yeah.
It was like...
Yeah. I will reiterate for stream's sake. Jacoby is sauced.
A little bit.
If he was the lamb sauce, he would definitely not be raw.
It's fucking raw.
I don't know. Star, do you know what that's from? Or who says
No.
that, rather?
I've never heard of that until tonight.
Gordon Ramsay.
It's from what?
Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, I like Gordon Ramsay, but I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff with him.
Dale, next time I come over, I'm gonna smack your head in between two pieces of bread and record yelling at you.
You're an idiot! Sandwich!
What are you? Tell me what you are!
I'm an idiot sandwich chef.
An idiot sandwich!
No, she responds with, I'm an idiot sandwich chef, in like a very like sad, like hurt tone. So good. Have you ever seen the one of like one of like the chefs burnt themselves and he like flips out at everyone else, like telling them to stop, like takes care of her, and he's like yelling for one of his other, like the guy's name is like Philippe, and you hear his like French accent like Philippe. He just gets like really loud and really angry, like Gordon Ramsay being a father, like he has this whole like on camera like angry persona, but if any time someone gets hurt, like he goes into full dad mode and it's like, brother, you better watch out. He will kill someone to help someone. Like, Gordon Ramsay's crazy. I think my favorite Gordon Ramsay insult is just the, you're a fucking donkey. If they ever remade any of the Shrek films, I feel like Gordon Ramsay could voice Shrek.
I can picture that.
Even though Shrek's like Scottish, I feel like Gordon could pull it off.
Honestly, same. That would actually be fun.
Donkey.
Also, since when has it ever said you can only sleep at night and during thunderstorms?
Sounds like always.
It's never said thunderstorms for me.
Well, I think thunderstorms might be no. Because they made thunderstorms a lot worse. They made lightning a lot more common.
I wonder when they did that.
Copper update. Because they added lightning rods.
Anyways, I never saw that before.
I don't know. Alright, Jacoby. Discussion time. If you had to be a bender of any element in Avatar: The Last Airbender, what element would you want to be able to bend?
Water.
Okay. Star?
Hang on. Wait just a second. You need to rephrase that question.
Okay.
Because with bending, there's a lot of different ways. Like earthbenders can also bend metal.
Yeah, metal bending's a substructure, blood bending's a substructure of water bending.
Do I unlock those substructures?
No, I'm gonna count. I basically was counting those as separate.
Then air.
Air.
I picked water, keeping you only for blood bending.
Yeah. Alright, Star?
I don't know if I can answer that since I don't normally watch that, so I don't know any of the elements besides air, fire, and water.
Earth, air, fire, and water. That's
Oh.
that's the 4 elements.
Yeah, there's sub ones like Jacoby said, metal with earth, blood bending with water. I think there's also like plant bending with water, like you control like the water in plants to get plants to move.
There's also ice bending.
Yeah, ice bending.
Yeah, I saw the first episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender like last year. I don't know her name, but it's a sister and a brother, and I think she has ice.
It's Soka and Katara.
I guess I'd have to. Maybe I think ice would be fun.
She had to learn ice though, I think, because she had to go to the Northern Water Tribe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or she was in the Northern Water Tribe, had to go to the Southern.
Oh, okay, yeah. She was like the only one that could ice, like, sort of water/ice bend from her village, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like a super rare thing on that village, but it turned out like she was related to. Honestly, a lot of their backstory just I didn't pay much attention to be honest.
I've seen every episode of that show 4 times over. I can tell you.
See, I've seen it a lot, but I was always more interested in
Aang.
No, Zuko.
Wow.
Basically, any of the episodes that, like, years later I went back and rewatched were just the episodes with Uncle Iroh.
Yes.
Because that's all I had the attention to. Because, like, Aang's cool, but just, like, after having my mother pass away, like, having such a traumatic experience, like, knowing how much that aged me, looking at Aang, like, I get he was frozen in ice for years and years, but, like, after learning that his entire, like, species had been wiped out, like, he was still, like, an idiotic goofball, I hated the character of Aang. To be honest, because it's just, like, he didn't really, like, take on that persona of, like, hey, dude, you're the hero, you're the last shot we have at doing anything. He's just like, cupcakes. It's like, God, I hate Aang as a character. Like, towards the end of the series, he started to mature, but it took way too long for him to, like, really mature past just being a childish idiot. Toph's a pretty cool character, though. She's I think she honestly had, like, between that show and then, was it Legend of Korra?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Toph had the most, development.
Look at the group chat.
Especially with her learning, like, metal bending. Is that, that's Joe Dirt, right?
Yeah. No.
See,
Yeah.
I always... No, okay, yeah, it is Joe Dirt. Because your condescending, sarcastic tone tells me it is. I always confuse Joe Dirt with Dazed and Confused. Because those are, like, the two movies that I've never, like, seen not at, like, 3 a.m. surrounded by, like, other people. Like, those aren't the kind of movies that I'll just watch and actually pay attention to. Jacoby's silent. I think at some point Jacoby's nickname in the group chat might get changed to Silent but Judgy.
All I heard was silent.
I said silent but judgy.
Also in Avatar, say you do have a certain element, you stick with that, or can you learn more?
I'm for the theoretical, I'm saying the one specific.
So, with Avatar, The Last Airbender, Aang is the chosen one, he can learn every single bending style,
Yeah.
but normal people not.
Unless it's a
No.
sub bending, like, you know, metal with earth or blood with water. And even then, those are more difficult ones. But if you really wanted to say, like, I'm sure if Zaratho was here, he would just say blood bending. Because he's weird like that.
I would've, but I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah, it's an option, but you don't get, like, any of the water or any of the other...
Oh, Eric. You turn people into human puppets, bro.
It's so sadistic. See, like, I'm torn, because I'm torn between, like, just, like, straight up fire and, like, the plant bending, like, controlling the water and plants. Cause, like, having the ability to just, like, tie someone up with vines like Poison Ivy from DC, it's just hard to pass up on having that kind of ability. Or, like, a wall of vines, like, surrounding an enemy or blocking an enemy from you. It's a very good ability to have. Whereas fire, it's just fire. I don't think I'd really want lightning bending because it's so unpredictable. And, like, I feel like lightning bending is one of those, like, you could very easily accidentally hurt someone with. Like, it's not as controllable as a lot of the other bendings. And, like, with lightning bending, there's no, like with air bending, if I accidentally, like, threw you away using air bending, I could, like, have a cushion or something like that for you to, like... The lightning is, like, the hardest one to, like, if you did hurt someone with, use the bending to unhurt them. Or lessen the hurt, you know what I mean? I definitely do think, like, lightning's the most interesting form of bending. Because, again, you know, I like... You know, the whole Uncle Iroh art, like, teaching the lightning and all that. But, I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably say either, like, plant or fire. I guess those are two, like, kind of more basic bendings. And, like, the whole broad perspective. But I'm a simple man with simple needs.
That song just popped up in my head.
Maybe be a simple kind of man.
And all you had to say was Simple Man, and that song is in my head.
The song, that's the whole point. The reason songs have specific names is so that when that specific those specific words that are that song's name are said by anyone anywhere, it gets in your head. Like, if I was talking in a conversation, someone were to say Lonesome. One of two songs would pop in my head. Lonesome, Ornery, and Mean by When the Jennings. Or I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry by Hank Williams Sr. One of those two is popping in my head every time, I guarantee. So that's just the beauty of music.
Yeah.
See, Star has a very unique ability that I do not have, which is the ability to have multiple songs stuck in her head at once.
I have like probably 6 to 7 in my head.
My brain doesn't have the processing. I don't have the dedicated RAM to run that server. I get like one stuck in my head. And then, like, if I don't listen to it in a couple days, then what happens is I forget, like, the entire song, except for, like, one little sentence, and then I have to ask, like, Jacoby or Star, like, hey, what's that song? You know, I can only remember this little part of it. That's what happens if I don't, like, just say, you know what, fine, I'll listen to the song.
Just so you know, Hey There Delilah is still in my head.
Yeah, for the record stream, because the other one get to hear that. Jacoby regularly plays Hey There Delilah on the Fortnite stream simply because it gets stuck in Star Side and I have to deal with it. Y'all got to hear part of it last night when they did the whole ooh part of the end where I was able to taste colors. I was having a bad acid trip after that part. I may have genuinely had a nightmare last night because I woke up with like my pillows off of the bed. Like I did not have fun last night. Do y'all ever have like reoccurring nightmares, like nightmares that repeat that you've had multiple times?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think my worst one, honestly, is like, so the day my mother passed away, I was still asleep when my dad came home from work, and he was the one that actually found her. So I was actually woken up to him just shouting for me. So I still regularly just get woken up like hearing him say my name. And he'll be at work. He won't even be home. Like I'll get up out of bed and like look around the house, like for him. It's very spooky. But it's probably just trauma.
I have one tribute.
Okay.
So right after my grandmother passed away, and we were all supposed to be going back and forth to her house, moving stuff, getting everything to the house. I was having recurring dreams that I went to the house, my cousin from Ohio came down to help, me and him ended up going on a walk, and out of nowhere, somebody steals my grandma's truck, takes both of us captive, and then when the police won't let them go, says that he's going to shoot one of us, and then just directly domes me with a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that just that dream repeating constantly throughout this of us going back and forth to her house.
Yeah.
Vivid, like so vivid. I could feel the pain before I woke up.
Yeah. So like that one reminds me of like the first time I watched X-Men First Class, which is the prequel. Go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
No.
Oh. You made a noise, I thought you were getting ready to talk.
I was laughing. Good.
Okay. But so X-Men First Class is the prequel, it's like the main X-Men films. In that movie, there is a scene where Magneto actually, like, using his powers pushes a coin through someone else's head. And I actually, like, the first time I saw it, I actually had a nightmare of that, and I woke up with, like, a splitting headache, a nosebleed even. Very, very bad. I still watch that movie regularly, but it was just, like, that first time, for whatever reason, it just... Inspired bad things. Yeah. Another bad one I've had here very recently. I don't think I've told Star about this one. While I was like going through stuff to move down there, I found a book that my mom had like. It was a book that you could record audio for, of like you reading it. She had to go into the hospital for brain surgery, and she made one for both me and my brother. And while going through stuff in my room, I actually found that book while he was actually in here, and I mistakenly pressed one of the buttons, not thinking I was thinking, no way in hell this thing still has working batteries. This thing is like 10 years old, hasn't seen the light of day in years, no way it's still gonna work. And sure enough, it worked. So, you know, this is like 2 years after her passing. I haven't heard her voice, nothing like that, and just out of the blue, while packing to move, you know, hundreds of miles away from my home, I got to hear her voice, and I'll still wake up hearing that audio segment of her talking. It's rough. And I generally don't even know where that book is. Like, it's down in the basement now. But,
I think it's up here.
is it down there?
Yeah, because I think we came across it even after you went up.
Okay. Yeah. It's just... The best way I would explain it is it echoes of the past. Every event in history is like dropping a stone in a pond. It causes ripples. And even after those ripples have dissipated, there's still going to be times where randomly that pebble hits the bottom or does something and creates a ripple down the road, creates an echo in time. And in real life, no, you're not using that analogy. It's scary sometimes. It comes at the times you least expect it. You don't ever expect to hear, when you lose somebody, you don't expect to randomly hear their voice. Or you do. I've known people who've lost parents who will call their parents' number to hear the voice messaging system, the voice message recording, so that they can hear, you know, their loved one's voice. And, you know, my mom had a lot of issues with attachments. She, literally like a year before she passed, she finally deleted my great-grandfather's contact from her phone. And he had passed, you know, years prior. It took her a good 4 years, I think, to finally delete his contact number. Because it was hard. I don't know if I've told this story on stream, but my phone broke oh no, this was even before the phone broke. So when my mom passed away, there were contact numbers, like information we needed to contact a pastor that we were pretty close to, that we wanted to do her service, a few other people. I had to get on her phone, on her messenger. And this was like the day of her passing, like the day, you know, this is like this was hours after people had like begun being told. And because my mother always had her messenger notifications to show when she was online, you know, hundreds of people that she had on Messenger got the notification, got the little green light next to her profile pic, showing her as being on. And a lot of people were upset about it, but it was like, there was nothing I could have done. But I went in, disabled that, and I actually use her phone. Like the phone I use, like I have on call, I have chat pulled up, is her phone. My phone broke about a year ago now, something like that, and I've been using her phone ever since. Which, for the the weirdest thing is, like, I don't have any problems using her phone. Like, I don't ever think, like, hey, this was my mom's phone. Like, I don't get sad about that. But there's plenty of other things that I'll find, or I'll think about, that I just get a little teared up sometimes. Like, I had when I started setting up Minecraft to be able to stream, the New Beginnings was the first one, which was the beginning of this server, which we've done a lot since then. You know, this is episode 10 of the Minecast. We're technically 11 streams deep on this server. And we haven't done a whole lot, but we've done a lot. But getting on Minecraft, I didn't really play Minecraft on my own account for years and years, because I just always play with Rogue. He's always the owner. I had a Minecraft server with my mom. I had a server that me and her had actually played on. And I had completely forgotten about it and found it. And that was hard. Because it was, again, you know, I'd gone, you know, X amount of time without having anything that, like, brought her fresh into my mind again. And then just to boot up Minecraft to make a server to stream on, and there it is. It's like when I get on, like, older mobile games, like, I'm sure if I got on Lord's Mobile, I would have her account, like, as a friend on that, and that would be very hard for me. But, like I said, it's echoes. It's echoes in time. The strangest things happen. I've heard plenty of stories of people going through their wallets, going through their purses, and randomly just a phone number or a picture of someone that's passed away just falls out. And it's just, it all comes rushing back. And there's not much you can do.
Feel that?
Huh?
Did I feel that?
Yeah. Like, I'll still have, like, Facebook. Like, notifications. Like, hey, you remember this? Like, the Facebook memories pop up. That's just like, no, I don't remember that. I don't want to remember that. And, you know, it's sad to say it, but, you know, life goes on. You can't put your life on hold, no matter how much you want to. You can't just stop whatever it is that you're doing to acknowledge that and cope with that. I think that's been my hardest thing since my mom's passed away. I think while counseling did help a lot, I never really took the time to stop and say, you know, that happened. And there's nothing you could have done. Because the day of, the week of, the month of, the year of, you know, I did put blame on myself. There were things that I had done that I had said that made me, in part, feel responsible. But I don't know if y'all heard that, but Lucy just scared the absolute heck out of me. She just gave out, like, the biggest, like, sigh, like, low grumble that I've ever heard out of her. I'm sorry, Nightlight. But, yeah, no, it took a long time for me to say there's nothing you could have done. Because we as humans always want to find a way to have made things be different. I'm sure every, you know, male or female who's ever been divorced has that battle with themselves for years and years of what could I have done differently. And at some point you just gotta say you couldn't have. And I think that really shows a lot of my gameplay. With these streams, you know, Fortnite especially, I overanalyze things. I put a lot of blame and responsibility on myself. I'm the first one to say, hey, I could have done this differently. But, you know, you gotta eventually say, you know, well, I could have done something differently. I didn't. And there's nothing that can change that. So. You good?
Mm-hmm.
You don't sound good.
I hiccuped.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, for stream's sake, I will finally, here getting into the final few minutes of stream, reiterate, Jacoby is beaming.
What?
Beaming.
Mm.
As in the brand?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Sound like my mom when she'd be like half asleep on the couch.
I am half asleep.
You can go to bed, we only have a few minutes left.
No. I made it this far, I'm not leaving. What?
Fair point. Anyway, guys, you know, while I don't get nearly enough done on the server as I would like, and while we don't really have as in-depth conversations as I would like, you know, we do this Minecast, this once weekly little escape from reality, sort of our way of therapy. You know, none of us go to counseling, none of us have therapists. This is sort of, at least for me, this is sort of my way of just rationalizing and just talking about whatever's on my mind. You know, a lot of this stuff is, oh god, what's the word I'm looking for? Improv. A lot of this is just come up with as we go. You know, a few things are rehearsed. You know, that rapid fire with the military planes and helicopters. That was something I had thought of, had mentioned to Jacoby prior. But a lot of the stuff on the Minecast specifically is all in the moment, stuff that's been on our minds that we just want to talk about, and whether it's here on camera or off camera, because these are the kind of conversations that me and Jacoby specifically, have been having for years. And the Minecast has really just been our way of showing you guys, the viewers, these conversations. These sort of, some of them are very, you know, make you think type of conversations, and others are just, you know, make you feel sort of questions. There's a lot of variety, and I really do strive for that on the Minecast. Having a variety of discussion questions, of discussions in general. I would hate for every Minecast episode to be the same few topics, the same few questions, slightly tweaked. No, I'll be the first one to admit there's been a few questions, discussions that we have done prior. I'm sure the president one got brought up sometime in the past, but for the most part, the Minecast is really the rawest emotion, thoughts, us you're ever gonna get. You're not gonna get this kind of in-depth conversation, especially being able to hear Jacoby and Star's voices on any of the Fortnite, any of the other content. This is the one stream every week where you guys get to really just see that we are people. We are other human beings. We're not just robots. We're not just streamers. We are people too. And that's kind of why I wanted to start doing this. It's because as many issues as I've had throughout my life, it was people who sat down and did stuff like this that got me through that. So as always, guys,
We are at time.
Yep. And you ruined. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
Yes.